Welcome back to Crime Besties. Here we are for another episode. How are you today, Meg?
I'm good this week. How about you?
Are you feeling a bit better than last week or last time we spoke?
Yeah.
You're feeling like tired and lethargic and all of the things.
Well, that sounds pretty standard.
Yeah. Hello, mum life.
Yeah. Mum life, work life, all that. Yeah. It's been a full-on week, but no, we've actually had no footy now.
Yeah.
And also one of the boys has got a bye this weekend for basketball. So our week for the sports stuff midweek has been one training session. And I cannot tell you.
The luxury of it.
I'm coming into the weekend ahead of schedule on the laundry, I've just managed to get all these little jobs done in the evenings that don't get done because we're piss fighting around everywhere doing all the after school sports situations.
Yep.
So I'm actually feeling somewhat, as much as it's been a chaotic week and a crazy week in work life sort of more so, but in this stuff I'm like feeling quite ready for a cruisy weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
You would have had still at least two lots of training sessions.
Yeah, but that was okay. It still meant we had two less than we normally do, so that was lovely.
One of those being the Friday night, which...
Delighted to be done with the Friday night.
I love that even my eldest son, he's like, get my Fridays back.
Yeah, because it's so onerous on you to go and kick the footy with your mates while your brother trains.
Oh, God. He's just not that kid. He's like, I just get tired of sitting in the car with my iPad.
Yes. No, I'm very, very happy that the footy season's over and we're down to one sport again.
Oh, look, I mean, I've loved watching the footy this season from both the littles and the big. They've both been great to watch and be part of, but I'm really ready to have a bit more time back.
Yeah, it's just a change of pace,
Definitely.
Yeah. We're recording this episode a week later than we first intended because we lost our dog this week, or last Friday, a week ago today. So we've had a bit of a sad week and it's taken us all like, oh my gosh. I mean, it all kind of happened so quickly. I think I mentioned in one of the previous
Probably the week before.
She'd received a cancer diagnosis and it just progressed very, very quickly and it got beyond the point where we were able to do anything at all aside from what eventuated. So, it was really, we've had a really sad week and animals are part of your family. Like, she's been around since before both kids were born and, I mean, you guys have probably heard her 1,000 times in episodes with the barking. She's very, very much missed. It's a really weird thing coming home and not having her sort of greeting you at the door and just you can feel that she's not here. She's not in the house.
I'm just feeling odd
horrible.
here that we won't know when the parcels are being delivered,
That's
and all those
probably
things.
not the worst thing.
No, but it is. It's awful. They are. There's so much. They're another child in your family, and it's really hard.
And for the boys, it's really the first significant loss they've had in their lives, which is lucky in some ways, but it's also a massive life lesson. And for Lucas, who's only 8, I feel like it's taken him a lot to sort of process and get. To really
probably
understand.
still processing it to fully understand it all. I mean, death's so hard to comprehend. It's so abstract, no matter what.
So final,
when you go through it.
Yeah.
Oh, he will get there, but she's always going to be part of your life.
That's right.
I love that, you've got all those great memories and things that you'll always have of her. And she's very special.
She was such a beautiful girl. Yeah. So that's been our week really. It's been, just sort of getting used to what's now the new normal at home and all of that sort of stuff. So, lots of tears and lots of sadness, but also, as you said, lots of happy memories because she was such an amazing dog. Like she was here when we brought both boys home from hospital and we were looking through all of the photos of that and she was so protective when they were little. Yeah. She wouldn't leave their sides. We've got photos of her like sitting next to their little rockers or lying next to their cot. So she was gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah. I mean, it's, you got to think of it in that way of like how special it's been to have her as part of the family, and they know what she's meant to you all, and you know they're here for a reason, and it's sad they're not here longer with us.
Oh, why can't they live as long as we do?
I know. I was saying to you that was the one drawback of the breed of dog that I got, was it really made me hesitate in terms of getting that breed of dog, even though it ticked all the boxes and everything, every other aspect. But he, unfortunately, being such a big dog, has a shorter lifespan than the most, even, and so you kind of just hope that they outlive any of those possibilities.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, but that's the thing. It's the worst bit of it all, is that they don't live as long as us. And but yeah, they're here for all those right reasons when they're here. Yeah.
That's it.
I know all those movies, you know, there's those movies where, like, you know, the dog spirit will like come into another dog spirit, you know, they have another family and bring that family the joy they've brought another family. And I always, like, those movies just bring me to tears so bad. Like, it's because it really, they are, I mean, as I've said to you, every family needs a dog, because our love is not completely unconditional.
Yeah.
Whereas a dog's love is. And I mean, I remember growing up, one of my brothers particularly was drawn to the dog, and he would, you know, get in trouble at, you know, and everything. And then he'd be outside sitting with the dog, telling the dog all his troubles, you know. And, like, so many images of him sitting on the back step talking to the dog about,
God,
you
he
know,
must have been in trouble a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, every kid needs that, you know, because sometimes we are not having our best day, and that the dog becomes that person, or that thing that they can go to and vent and have those moments with, that, you know, they listen every time. Yeah. So they are amazing to have in your family.
Yeah.
Whether,
very much missed.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's a lot, but that's okay. It's part of it, and we were lucky to have her for the time that we did. So she was great.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to dedicate this episode to Luna.
Totally. Yes, to Luna.
Yeah. So what else has been going on for you this week? I had a 40th on over the weekend. Now, I was telling you this story because, oh my God, okay. So I had a few drinks. There were some shots. I mean...
And let's just remember here, you've already had your 40th now.
Yeah.
You've forgotten that, I think.
I think I did. Well, I was dropping it like it was hot. And
so I love someone said, now that I'm over 40, I need to drop it like it's mildly lukewarm rather than dropping it like it's hot.
Well, I've learned that lesson the hard way, because we got home and it was not a late night. I think we were home by like 1. But
late enough.
Late enough. I got into bed and I was, you know, mildly inebriated. I get into bed and I fell off to sleep fine.
Yeah.
But I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and my knees...
As in, like, the drunkenness then obviously went away.
Had obviously worn off. And my knees were absolutely killing me.
Called over 40 knees.
Oh, my God. I didn't realise it would change on a dime.
Oh, totes. It's just downhill from here.
Just all the inflammation. I don't even know. But for days later, I'm like, my knees, I just cannot do this anymore.
No dropping it like it's hot
Not
more.
anymore. It's done.
Yeah.
So I'm learning these lessons the hard way, obviously. I don't know if I'll actually learn my lesson. I'll let you know next time I go to a party. But that was. I mean, it was such a fun night.
I love that.
I
bet you had a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. But felt it for a few days later.
Those knees don't quite hold up no more.
No. And then I was the following morning. I was the trainer for Ollie's footy team. And I reckon I had to run out onto the field
it's just
4 or 5 times.
Murphy's Law, that every other game you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and our runner, who's one of the dads on our team, he, like, a kid went down and I was like running over there thinking I was doing really well. Well, he's like flown past me. I'm like, my knees hurt, I can't run that.
The Voltaren hasn't kicked in
yet. That's right. Oh, I hadn't even smashed an anti-inflammatory at this point, but I'm like, I'm going to need to, because I'm not going to be able to get out there if something bad happens.
You've got to get on that horse gel.
Yeah, I need the horse gel. Oh, that horse gel is great. It is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Oh, yes. Welcome.
Thank you. Cheers. It was a trial by fire, but I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, no, I feel that pretty much every day. Like I know the other day I was in my office and a person had arrived and I needed to see them, and he'd gone through like as if he didn't want to see me, sort of stuff, but I needed to grab him. So I was like, oh, better be quick, kind of thing. Got up out of my chair and went, oh wait, oh God, wait to the body's got to unseize after sitting down for so long.
Yeah, you've been sitting down now. You can't don't just be so presumptuous as to think you can get up and move.
Move quickly. Forget that. Yeah, no.
No, not anymore.
Join the over 40s club.
Yeah, but I'm feeling like as it gets warmer, it'll be easier, right?
Well, sorry, no.
Just give me some hope, Meg, for God's sake.
No, it does get better in the warmer weather.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. That's all I needed.
But just don't go doing stupid shit. So,
yes, ma'am. Yes,
I've seen people like do the whole like when I before I was 40 I could the bench seats kind of thing, and you'd get in real quick and easy, and then after 40 it's like you got to lift your leg over the bench.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's where you're at.
That is where we're at. Oh God.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few shout outs today, so I might get going with those. Thank you to everybody who's commented. This week, I feel like it just happens every week, but we've had another record week in terms of comments on our episodes. So I'm talking on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we've also had lots of comments on our TikToks and Facebook groups as well. So please keep those coming, because not only do I love reading them, and I think I said this in a previous episode, well, if I need a bit of a pick-me-up, I just head on over to Buy Me a Coffee and read what's been written in there, because
absolutely,
love it. Real pick-me-up. So this week we've got to say thank you to Chantel Allen, Teresa McNamara, Rachel Johnson, who bought us a couple of coffees on Buy Me a Coffee because she won a $10 bet with her boss. Oh, yes. And she's like, I didn't know what to do with my $10, so I decided to give it to you guys. So I think her boss listens as well. So, thank you to Rachel and to her boss. Love
Glad
that.
You won
thank
bet
you.
Too.
Yeah, good on you. To Julie Sliner, who has also given us a case suggestion for one that we didn't have on our list yet, the West Memphis 3.
Yes.
I can't believe we didn't have that on our list, but it's on there now.
All right, perfect.
So thank you, Julie. Katrina Jenner, who thinks that we need to absolutely make some absolute piece of shit merch. So I don't think she's saying the merch will be the absolute piece of shit. I think she's saying that we need to have...
I don't know. I'd be pretty crap at it.
We're looking into it. Looking into it. This is all very new territory for us.
Oh, God, yeah.
So we will not release anything that's an absolute piece of shit, but we may release something that says absolute piece of shit. We'll keep you posted.
I know, we've said this before, I think. I can't remember if we've said it on the actual podcast or not. But no one wants to wear a T-shirt that says piece of shit.
Yeah.
But they do.
It turns out
clearly people do.
Katrina's not the only one.
No.
We also, someone else, I think it might have been, someone else did mention that they wanted
I remember
piece
reading
of shit
that
merch.
as well.
And then one of the mums at school.
Yes, she's down for it.
Kim is 100% down for it, and I can imagine her wearing it too.
Not because she's a piece of shit by any means of it. But
she loves it.
She loves it. It's just, we're here for that. So I think we might have to bite the bullet.
But also, guys, please let us know for the wider community. Yeah. Is it worth us putting out merch that says, we probably wouldn't write the word shit. We'd have some kind of
POS on it? I don't know.
Or would we do like SH star T or something?
Yeah,
like
let's do that.
Let us know what you want. And we'll look into it a bit further. Then we've got Claire Lombardo, who found us by accident, and I loved that she signed off her little thing on Buy Me a Coffee, much love and murder, Claire.
Murder.
So thank you, Claire. And then to Lisa Porter, who said she found us, she was going down a mushroom lady rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And somehow stumbled upon us, and because we
haven't done a mushroom episode yet. But we've touched on it, but
we've spoken about her, but we haven't obviously.
We will get there.
And she said at the bottom, staying curious. So thank you for staying curious, Lisa. And then we also had a lovely message and a Buy Me a Coffee as well from Kate, who's at tagline or whatever is at Gather and Sew. I haven't actually looked up her Instagram, but please have a look, because I think she does clothing alterations and that kind of thing.
Nice.
And she said she listens to us while sewing and doing all of the mum things.
I need to get onto her.
And I'm
always too short for my pants.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And she can sympathise with all of the mum life stuff and the eating and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, we're all in the same boat here, ladies, and the odd gent who listens. So
I was looking at our stats on that recently, and I think it's something like 9% men. So hi and welcome all of you, and
thanks
glad
for
you joined
listening.
and we do get a lot of comments from men on TikTok. Mainly, I would say probably come through that way, but we've definitely had. I know we had a dad once. He commented and loved our show, and he loved our precision on our swearing.
Just how articulate we are. I didn't see that comment actually.
It was great. He's like, I just hope if my girls are going to swear or something, then that they learn to do it like you do.
Oh, look, I'm glad we can be a role model for someone.
Yeah. I think I explained to him that, you know, well, there is research to show that women who swear are more intelligent. So
well, you know, I mean, we prove that case, don't we? Totally prove that.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, should we get into today's case?
Oh, let's get into today's one. It's this is a good one.
It's a total mindfuck, this
it is.
one. It really, really is.
Yeah.
So, actually, just really quickly before we get into that, we need to mention that we are actually starting a Patreon.
Oh, yes. This is big news.
This is actually very big news.
Yeah.
This, again, something that we've talked about for a long time, but we are getting a lot of messages from people who want to support us ongoing, which is lovely.
Amazing.
And it goes a really long way in helping us, you know, upgrade our equipment and grabbing a wine and all of those things. So we really appreciate it. And to that end, we've decided to start a Patreon. So we'll put all of the details in the show notes to this episode of how you can join that. At the moment, we've got a $5 a month option. And what you will receive for that is you will receive a link for ad-free episodes. You will also receive a bonus monthly, or we're sort of still figuring out how often this is going to happen, but we're going to have a banter type episode. So it'll be just about different topics. It'll be a lot like this sort of intro banter. We might talk about, you know, cases that are in the media at the time. Please suggest anything that you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
So you'll get sort of that bonus episode at least once a month.
Yeah.
And
it's probably we'll do like our updates on things, if there's updates on cases, stuff like that.
That's right. And you'll also get a shout out in one of our regular episodes. So please, if that is something that you might like to support us in, you can absolutely do that. And all of the links will be in the show notes to this episode.
Amazing. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
And I think we can build like a very different sort of community there too.
Yeah.
And again, we're really happy because this is a new thing for us. We're happy to be guided by what our Patreons want.
Yes.
So thank you to everybody who goes ahead and does that.
Please come and join us. Great fun.
Great fun. We will have a lot of fun over there. We might even do a couple of lives. We'll see.
Oh, that's really scary.
No, that'll be fun. Then we can have interaction with all of our peeps. It'll be great.
No, that is cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Love it. All right.
Cool. All right, let's get into today's episode.
Piece of shit.
Well, isn't he just? Oh my God. So today we are talking about the case of Gable Tostee and Warriena Wright. I think most people will have a vague idea, or definitely will have heard about it in the media. It happened in 2014. And I remember at the time hearing about it, but I didn't know any of the details I've now come to learn. Not really. I knew she'd fallen from the balcony. I knew there was conjecture around whether he was involved or not, but I didn't really know anything else. That was about it.
Oh, this one got me when it happened.
Okay.
I was really hooked on it at the time, kind of going like, what the hell? Like this just... I think, well, to be honest, I reckon he's probably falls in the category of almost the original Tinder swindler.
Yeah.
Like, I think this was really the first real case around the whole idea of like these apps that were being used for dating, and then this eventuated to someone dying, that we really sort of heard of in the media.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel that would be the case.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of a taster of what Tinder is on a couple of weekends ago, to go with this case. So we grabbed a young friend who is on Tinder, and we won't mention it because we've said to her we're not allowed to shout her out until she does certain things for us. So
yeah, that's right. She still hasn't done what she said she was going to do, so she's not getting an actual named shout out today.
No. But we grabbed her phone and got onto her Tinder.
I fucked it up too.
Oh God, no, because I spoke to her about it actually just yesterday. So So we were learning how to use this Tinder because I had no idea what the hell you do. And you're like, I know you had to swipe, but which way do you swipe? And Emma's on it, like, you know, swiping every which
I'm
way.
like, nah.
It really gets me how, like, it's literally, and it's kind of, I can understand the addiction of it, of like looking through all these people and going, oh, I like you. No, I don't like you. No, I like you. But it's so subjective of like just a photo.
I mean, it's so superficial.
A couple where you'd go like, and then you can click on and see more photos. But it's, again, all based on photos and what people look like.
But then they do have their little captions, because I remember when I looked at one of them, I was like, oh, yeah, he looks nice. And then I read something that he wrote and I'm like, oh, hell no.
Hell no.
No.
But your initial reactions are all just based on photo.
I think that was the guy that I accidentally then swiped yes on.
So, yeah, we
I went the wrong way. What do I do? And she's
then
like,
immediately he messaged her.
Yeah, that's right. And she was like, oh, just ignore it. Don't worry.
Oh, no, because I yesterday said to her, oh, so how's your Tinder profile going now since we've been playing around with it? And that guy's been messaging.
No. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
She just keeps ignoring him, but he just keeps sending her love hearts.
Oh, yeah, because that's what he did, like, literally within 30 seconds of them matching.
Yeah.
He sent a love heart, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Can you block? Surely you can block.
I'm sure you can.
I'm sure you can.
I said to her, just maybe talk to him.
Oh, maybe I accidentally found her soulmate.
Well, this is it. You just never know. How can you? I mean, you're judging off of a photo. Quite possibly, you're literally swiping the wrong way on your soulmate. Who knows?
Yeah,
yeah. But it's a really I'm just the wrong generation for it. Maybe, I don't know. Although there's plenty of people my age on there, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
But I just can't come at it.
I feel like, you know, we were settled in relationships before this became a thing. So it's not something that you or I have ever done. But I actually looked up some Tinder stats because I was really fascinated by the amount of users and how people use it, because our friend who you're talking about, we were asking her like how much she pays, and it is expensive.
Oh, really? I had no idea you even paid for it.
Oh, yeah, you have to pay.
Oh, God, I had no idea.
And in order to, like, you paid, there's different, like, levels and how much you message someone and all of that. So in 2024, which is the latest stats I could find, Tinder brought in, this is worldwide, $1.94 billion in revenue.
Crazy.
Okay?
So who's paying for it?
Everyone, but I think men have to pay more, maybe. I'm not really sure.
Is it a bit like the whole Ashley Madison deal? Like in the
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. There's 60 million monthly users who are active.
Yeah.
It's available in 190 countries. How many countries are there in the world? Like 193 or something?
Something like that.
Now, back in this day, so when this case happened in 2014, there were 1 billion swipes per day on Tinder around the world. 1 billion swipes. So, yeah, I can see it. You go, yep. I mean, no.
We probably did 20 whilst we were just standing
there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There were 12
We swiped
million.
a lot with the no direction.
Yeah. There were 12 million matches in 2014.
So out of a billion.
Yep.
A billion swipes, 12 million are matching.
Yep.
That's
it's very low.
Pretty low numbers, really, in terms of like, okay.
The average engagement per user per day is 90 minutes. That's average.
Oh.
So the average user, this is back in 2014, spent 90 minutes. And so you can see how you get a billion swipes. If you're there swiping for 90 minutes a day,
Jesus,
you can probably get 1,000 swipes in.
See, I thought that the way Tinder worked was something to do with your location and that too, and that you were only.
It does.
Okay, so
It
I
is
thought
based
you
on
only
location too.
got like to me, I thought you'd open up the app and go, there's only a couple of people in my area that are on Tinder. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think so many people are obviously so many people. If they've got 60 million monthly active users, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Oh, it just blows my mind. Yeah. But I just don't understand it as a dating. I don't know.
What is it that what don't you understand? Like,
you would go and meet up with someone that you have no idea who they are other than what they look like, and potentially even like particularly back in 2014. I know now they have protections a little bit on this.
Yeah.
But you don't even know if that person who rocks up is actually the person in the photos.
Yeah.
That's
changed now.
It's changed now, but even still, you could get it. They can get around it, I think, from my understanding.
Okay.
But it's less it's a lot more
It's harder.
difficult to get around.
Yeah.
But definitely back in 2014, 100% you could have found that you walked into a situation where it was completely not the person on their profile, or they used photos from 10 years ago, sort of stuff that you go, oh crap, I thought I was dating a 30-year-old and now I'm walking into a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's so...
I just think how else... I was reading some commentary about this case in particular. So Warriena Wright was over in Australia because she was attending an ex-work colleague's wedding, a friend's wedding.
Yeah.
And she was staying with another friend at the time, but this other friend had other commitments that she needed to go to. So what was Warriena to do all day? Someone wrote in an article I was reading about this, you don't go out to meet friends. Like, you're not going to go out and seek out friendship. So Tinder's a good way to meet someone to spend time with when you're in a place like that. And
but is it just, it's just to hook up?
Well, I guess for some people that's what it is. But for some people, I'm sure they want genuine connection.
This is it. And I think that's where there's like different users have different expectations of who they're walking into.
Yeah, okay.
And like in this situation, I dare say, from what I know of Gable Tostee, he was literally there to like meet her to have sex.
Oh, 100% he was. I mean, we know that from things he's then since admitted.
Yeah, and I guess in some ways she was too, in that she was not from here. She was from New Zealand. She was here for a short time for a wedding, etc. That she wouldn't have, I mean, and look, she had a pretty bad breakup in New Zealand before coming to Australia. And so she was coming here and she was getting onto the app, kind of like, go, oh, someone will make me feel good about myself and meet up with somebody that, that I can feel that I'm still got it, like after having a pretty bad breakup, which I can fully understand and getting yourself out there.
I think she'd also had an encounter in New Zealand before she came to Australia on Tinder that was actually fine.
Yeah.
Like it was they hooked up and it was a pleasant and happy experience and they just kind of moved on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after this bad breakup, that's where she'd kind of like gone, oh, well, Tinder kind of works.
She'd had a positive experience with Tinder beforehand, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I still think there's a difference in their expectation of what was going to happen on that night.
But if you look at the messages they were sending to one another, she knew that was what his intention was, because he wrote in one of the messages that he sent to her that he was, what did he say? He was a freak between the sheets or something.
Ew.
And he's so fucking gross. I mean, we'll get to a lot of it. But he's like, he's fucking foul.
Yeah.
But the things he says to her are fucking foul.
Yeah.
But she still went along with it and still wanted to meet up and all of that. So look, you're right in saying that you don't know who you're meeting up with, but then also we all make these choices. I'm not saying she chose for this to happen by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, not this, no.
But they've gone back to his... Anyway, let's start from the start.
Yeah.
So this all happened on the 8th of August in 2014. Warriena had arrived in Australia on the 29th of July, and I think she was had planned to stay for a couple of weeks to obviously attend the wedding, which had already happened. But then she was going to do some sightseeing, and she was staying in Surfers Paradise. She was staying in Queensland.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spot, very touristy, lots going on. She was meeting up with some other friends that she had in Australia and just having a really lovely time. And
26, she was just, living life and, getting herself out there, I guess, and having experiences, because she was, from all accounts, she was born in the Philippines and then moved to New Zealand when she was 3.
Yeah.
Her family was Seventh-day Adventists. But and her family described her as being someone who was quite strongly opinionated on things, but very caring and motherly as well.
Yep.
So she had this real soft side. But she was just someone but she was also a bit of a nerd, and I love that.
Yeah.
So she loved her Dragon Ball Z. But on the other extent of that, she was really adventurous. So she did a lot of like various things in terms of adventure things. She's, skydiving and those sorts of things. But she liked her skydiving and did lots of things like that. But what she trained in was Muay Thai. So she had a little bit of,
martial arts experience
background as well. So she had like so many different elements to her personality.
Yeah.
But I love the Dragon Ball Z. She was and really mad on it.
Yeah, just like my brother was back in the day.
Oh,
But
serious?
She loved.
Yeah.
Oh, he loved it. She also loved like anime and was
Yes.
into all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So she lived with her younger sister Maretza over in Lower Hutt in New Zealand. She worked as, what did she work as? Oh, she worked in a call centre for a bank, and she wasn't like super into it, but it was sort of a means to an end, I think, in terms of she had enough money to be able to do those things, live her life. Her friends would often come over for these like, they would play, I'm going to say Nintendo, but it probably wasn't Nintendo, like PlayStation games. And they would come for the entire weekend, bring their consoles and all play together and have a really, really great time. If that's what you're into, you go, girl.
Yes.
So they played Final Fantasy, if that means anything to anyone, but that was their game of choice.
It's in that realm.
Yeah. She liked Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
She liked shopping on eBay. She loved an eBay bargain, and apparently she would like go and buy shit off eBay, try and then like sell it for more, that kind of thing as a bit of a side hustle.
Love that.
She was into last minute road trips and conspiracy theories.
Yes, I loved reading that about it. She was into conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
So cool.
So she probably would have been in some ways our kind of gal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right when you say people said she was very hardline. If she thought something, she was incredibly opinionated. She would not back down.
Yeah.
But if you were her friend, she had your back.
Yes.
She was 100%, all over you.
Yeah.
Her dad's name was Warren, and that's actually where her name was derived from. So Warriena was derived from Warren.
Yeah.
And as you said, her mum was Filipino, and her name was Merzabeth. And they were devout Seventh-day Adventists. So when they came to New Zealand, when they immigrated to New Zealand, they just went into this Seventh-day Adventist community, basically.
Yeah.
They went to the Seventh-day Adventist school, and I think her mum ended up becoming like is it a pastor in that church? I'm not sure, but she became like a missionary or something within the church. So she was very sort of devout in that way. But that wasn't really Warriena's path.
No, she wasn't really into it. Yeah.
No. She was, described as being a really beautiful, naturally beautiful girl. She had big brown eyes and high cheekbones, lots of long hair. And when you look at photos of her online, you can absolutely see that she was very naturally beautiful. She didn't wear a lot of makeup. She was, just naturally like a really, really lovely looking girl.
Yep. And I dare say that Gable Tostee saw her on Tinder on photos and was like, swipe whichever direction that is, that will say yes.
Swipe the yes way.
The yes way. Because when Warriena saw Gable on Tinder, she actually immediately said that he looked like Australia's answer to Sam Winchester. And for those who don't know, he's the guy off of Supernatural.
See, my original thought was Taylor Lautner.
I've heard that
reckon?
too. And apparently she even says that at some point as well. And
okay.
I think you hear it on the recording that we'll get to.
Yes.
Yeah, that she mentions that as well. So I don't kind of get either, but maybe it's because I know what I know of him that I don't like see.
I definitely see the Lautner. I don't see the Sam Winchester.
Yeah.
But then maybe in some of his photos on Tinder,
different photos
he might have
maybe.
looked a bit like
Certainly
that.
not in later years he looks like either of those. No. So, but I mean, in photos, this is where I go the whole, like, I can't stand this whole making judgment on people, like, from a photo.
I get it.
Because, I mean, there were photos of him that you kind of go, he looked like a young man who was fit, healthy, I guess in some ways typically what you'd call a good looking bloke.
Yeah.
In some, like if you're into that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't look at his photos and go, he looks like a weirdo.
Oh, some of his smiles are,
yeah.
But then we're
looking at it. That's right. If I remove all of what I know of him, I feel like if you were swiping away, you'd double look. You'd look, okay, he's interesting.
Yeah,
and he picked his photos carefully. I mean,
we always put our best foot forward on social media, and if you're putting yourself out there to get a date, of course you're going to put all the nice photos, the nicest photos you can find of yourself on there.
Absolutely.
But he He preyed on women through Tinder. So
well, not just through Tinder.
No, well, that is true. Not just through Tinder. So growing up, his mum, let me find their names. So his mum was Helene and his dad Gray, and he had a younger brother, I believe, named Tennyson.
All right.
Now, he grew up in a very sort of upper middle class family. His dad owned a flooring company and it was a very successful company, so they were able to afford a really nice life for themselves and for their children. I do
find it really interesting where the family, and I think it's come from the family, have put forward more so that dad's a salesman.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like they're wealthy. But this family were wealthy.
Oh, they were wealthy.
Yeah. And I mean, it's definitely out there. People know that they were wealthy, but I think they like to try and make out that they're not for this context.
Yeah, because it makes them look somehow better or more sympathetic.
Yes.
So, but they're absolutely wealthy. They live, so their mum and dad now live in a gated community and in this absolutely spectacular, on a golf links. It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's in Carrara.
Yeah,
it's just west of the Gold Coast tourist strip kind of thing.
Absolutely stunning and a beautiful part of the world to live in
absolutely.
They also had purchased the flat that Gable lived in Surfers Paradise, 14th floor, in an apartment building. Really lovely. Like, imagine as he was 28 at the time. Yeah. Imagine being a 28-year-old and having a bachelor pad like that you didn't actually have to pay for.
But this is the thing. If we go back to who he was as a person and the family dynamic.
Yeah.
It's just an expectation, I think, of that's what he would live like.
Yeah.
He attended a private school in the area.
Let's get into some of his escapades at school.
Let's. And just after school.
Just after school.
Yes.
So when he was at high school, he was making counterfeit IDs.
It was just after he finished school.
Oh, was it just after he finished? Sorry.
Yeah, 2003. So we don't actually know his birth date. It's been suppressed what his actual birth date is.
Yep.
But we can sort of gauge where these things are. But so 2003 after he just finished school.
Yeah. So he and a mate were making fake IDs for schoolies, essentially. Because for those of you who don't know, schoolies is like a spring break type thing in Australia where at the end of year 12, so at the end of your formal education, you go and you have a week or whatever where you just let loose, eat, drink, be merry. Yeah. And the Gold Coast is a place that attracts a lot of schoolies, so a lot of kids who are doing that. And a lot of them might not be of age yet. In Australia, you need to be 18 to be able to go clubbing and drinking.
Yeah.
And so he founded this he and his mate I think
two of them. There was two mates in him.
Two mates was it?
Yeah.
But they earned $30,000 before they got caught. It was such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
they
it was
earned
not
$30,000 making these counterfeit IDs that were apparently spot on.
So in this, they were arrested for it, but the judge decided not to have any convictions linked to it. And his words in stating that, he said that he hoped that his exceptional artistic talents would be used for good purposes only from this point forward.
But no rehabilitation. I think he had to do a little bit of community service.
Yeah, that's all he got, but he didn't get any convictions.
No.
So the other thing that he did also do, which the police were blown away by, was his $50 note that he counterfeit.
But he never actually
he never used it, but they were impressed with his skills with his forfeiting. Forfeiting. Oh my God, what did I say?
The
forgery skills.
Apparently this banknote, this $50 banknote was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just hadn't gotten to a point yet where he was able to print it.
Incredible artistic ability. And as the judge comments, it's like if only he could have used that ability and used it for good. Yeah, he's talented, incredible.
Yeah.
But he was using it for evil.
Oh, and he is such an evil piece of shit. All right, so we've kind of given a bit of a background on him now.
Well, but a little bit further onto that. So along with that, there was also a psychiatric report that was done on Gable at the time of this arrest, etc. That he had assessments done prior to this as well. So they did align, but he'd never been fully diagnosed with anything prior to this. But this is where he did receive a diagnosis from this psychiatric report. So in that report, let me just grab out what was actually stated in it, because it was
this
very
the one in
interesting.
2009?
No, 2006.
Okay. So I think in 2006 they basically diagnosed him with autism spectrum disorder, but Asperger's, which was what they were diagnosing at the time.
Yes.
And severe obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah, so it was stated in it that he was considered as partially disabled.
Yeah.
It was noted that he had a limited social life or ability to socialise. The psychiatrist noted that he didn't believe him to be psychotic, but he was not able to connect with other people emotionally, and this put him at a major disadvantage socially.
Yeah. And that is true. He didn't have many friends. He was an outcast at school, aside from, I think, these two friends who he was doing the counterfeiting with.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of friendship they had as such, but
that's right. They were maybe acquaintances, who knows. Yeah, that's it. But he wasn't well liked at school or anything like that. People found him really, really weird. So because he was seeing a psychiatrist after that diagnosis, which to his credit, I'm glad his parents sort of pushed him to do that, and ongoing with seeing this psychiatrist.
I question then why that wasn't looked at prior to 2006, where he was clearly, in his early 20s by that stage.
Yes, I think he was 19 at that point.
So it blows my mind that he's gone all through schooling, and you couldn't tell me that some educator along the way has not raised with them that maybe there should be some assessments.
100%. And it's taken him...
Because Mum was a teacher.
Yeah.
Too.
It's taken him a court hearing and being arrested and charged for them to go down that path.
Yes.
But at least he then, I think, in some ways, at least for a couple of years, he still saw this psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Who, at the end of seeing him in 2009, because then Tostee decided he didn't want to bar of it anymore, he basically said that he had social anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, and depression in addition to what he'd previously been diagnosed with.
Yeah.
And it was impossible for him to establish a rapport with his peers.
Yeah.
So,
but having said all of that, right? Now, being ASD doesn't make you a piece of shit.
Oh God, no.
And I wanted to really look at this really carefully in respect to what similarities and what differences there are to ASD and narcissism, personality disorder, as an actual personality disorder.
Yep.
And some interesting things I think to note are that in terms of social skills, someone with autism can have difficulty initiating and maintaining social interactions, right, due to their neurological difference.
Yep.
However, someone who presents with narcissistic personality disorder may strategically utilise social skills to manipulate or control others. Okay? So I just want to keep all those things in mind, of that difference between those two potentially, which can be seen as being the same thing on the surface. Yes, I can
see. Yep.
But maybe actually going on underneath is different, right?
Yeah. And he's a clever boy.
He's very smart.
Very clever.
So his IQ was, he says his IQ was 150.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's accurate in saying that when he says it, because he's drunk when he says it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. Yeah. And then in terms of self-esteem and the way that might present, in terms of someone with autism, their self-esteem can be impacted due to their social challenges.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
But while someone with narcissistic personality disorder has an inflated sense of self-importance and a need for constant admiration.
Yeah, okay. So that really resonates with me because he lost his virginity when he was 17. He then didn't have sex again until he was in his, 24, 25?
Yeah.
So and by that stage, he needed that validation from an external source, because so he did lose a lot of weight after school. He got into the gym. He was muscle man. He was on these bodybuilding webs, forums and websites. Oh my God, some of the fucking banter on there is disgusting. Yep. But you know what I actually really thought? He would write something about women on there, something really derogatory, 9 times out of 10, another man on that forum, on these bodybuilding forums, would call him out for it.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And thank fucking God there are men like that out there. I mean, I know there are.
Unfortunately, there was more people who wanted his advice on how to also do the same, though.
So what you're alluding to now is when he started to get fit, and obviously he had this absolutely inflated sense of self and he needed that validation from women. So he decided that he would sleep with 100 women in 12 months. That was his goal.
Yeah, because he outright said that he had low self-esteem.
Yep.
And that sleeping with women made him feel better.
Yep. Literally, he wrote that on one of these forums.
Yeah.
So, and there were blokes who were like, oh, let us know how you go. Let us know how you go about doing that. Anyway, he does that. He hits his 100th women and he posts about it and he's like, loving himself sick.
We could just have one of the quotes he had on there was, had a 21-year-old Tinder date come over for drinks. We're getting along fine, start kissing, feeling each other. She's small, so I go to hug and lift her up and take her inside from the balcony. Oh. But she totally freaks out, mumbles something about getting back to her parents and bolts out the door. Deletes me off her both Tinder and Facebook. Maybe I acted too abruptly and snapped her out of her little lust trance by manhandling her.
Oh, my God. He's fucking disgusting.
He called them all young sleuths.
Sleuths?
I.e. sluts.
What a fucking tosser.
Oh, there's multiple quotes like that on there.
Oh,
there's another
so
one
many.
where he comments around that he slept with 2 women last night, one of them being a 4 out of 10, so not even worth mentioning. Or
yeah, because normally he doesn't go below a 7, he said.
Oh, he's just
disgusting.
Yeah.
The way he speaks about women, his absolute disrespect of women is revolting.
Yeah.
He also uses the word frigid a lot.
Ugh.
And it's just, I fucking hate that word.
I hate that word.
But they, because they didn't want to sleep with him the first time they met him.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? They want to get to know you as a person. Oh, shock.
Or they were creeped out by him because the other thing is...
As this girl was, I think that young, 21-year-old.
Oh, you would be. Yeah. The other thing is he had actually been banned from most of the nightclubs in Surfers Paradise because he was such a fucking creep that he made all of the other patrons feel so uncomfortable.
To the point where women had complained about him to their clubs and they banned him. Yeah. They agreed with them and had it on camera and what have you, that they went, oh, no, you're not coming back in here.
So he couldn't actually go to a club. Thank God.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's just so fucking disgusting.
Yep.
So fucking disgusting. Anyway, so he links up with Warriena on Tinder on, it was the day before I think they met up.
No, they didn't meet up. They just chatted online.
Yeah, but was that the day before they
I think
met
it wasn't
up,
long before,
Yeah, I think so it's not like they've been chatting.
Oh, they might have even, as soon as she got almost arrived in Australia, I think they started talking. And then over those few days they were chatting, and then the day before they met up, they said, well, let's get together.
Okay. Yeah. I know there were 180 odd messages between them before they actually met up. But they agreed to meet out the front of a tavern in Cavill Avenue, Surfers Paradise. And CCTV shows them both sort of meeting up at about 8:45 p.m. on the night of the 8th of August in 2014. And, right. So what they had originally planned on doing is going to this beer garden. They go to the beer garden. They're there for 2 or 3 minutes, and they obviously decide to go and get beer and take it back to his apartment. I don't know if it was busy. I don't know. But they're then they're then seen on CCTV going to a bottle shop and buying a 6-pack of Tooheys Extra Dry.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, show her a good time. Could have at least gone a Crownie.
Oh, no. Peter will have you for that.
He will. But this is a throwback to my mum. We were out one day and, I don't know, the boys had ordered beers or whatever. And mum's like, oh, why aren't you getting a Crownie? Nothing better than a Crownie.
My dad drinks them.
Maybe it's a generational thing. I'm like, Mum, there's so many better things than a Crownie.
They were the fancy beer.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing better than a Crownie. Well, turns out, Mum, yes, there is. But there's also worse. So the Tooheys Extra Dry 6-pack goes home with them to Tostee's 14th floor apartment in Surfers Paradise.
Yeah, so I think they arrived there 9 o'clock-ish. It's not long,
it's
after the first
16
meeting.
16 minutes or something after they first met up that they were in his apartment.
Yeah.
And according to him, they drink the 6 beers, and then he has homemade vodka.
His like moonshine.
Essentially. Now, I looked up a little bit about this.
Yep.
So I think you are allowed to still
Did
vodka.
you not do that?
No, never.
Oh, we used to do it all this. We used to do
Never.
it. Yeah, when I was like, we used to always make our own vodka.
How?
God, I can't remember now. We used to make it at a friend's place. She was mad on making her own vodka, and because we always had it in the freezer at her place whenever we'd go there, and she'd make different combinations of things like to go with it, and we used to do a Skittles one.
Oh yeah, I know. We used to put like red skins in a bottle of Absolute.
Yep.
That was delicious back in the day.
Oh yeah, we'd do those I just like do different mixtures and things like what you put in it. But we'd make our own vodka.
No, never. I've never done that. But then what happens when you distill vodka is it comes out at 100% alcohol or 200 proof, and you've got to then dilute it to be the right proof. And most vodkas are 40 to 50% or what would that be, 80 to 100 proof.
Yeah.
But you don't know if you're making moonshine. Like, God only knows. You could have it at whatever concentration you want.
It's worth noting that Gable did have a binge drinking problem. You know, like he seriously had a drinking problem. He knows it even. So he was very used to his moonshine, I guess, that he was making. I questioned that a little bit of how much he drank, but in comparison to her. But we also should say he was quite a big guy in terms. He was 6'3", well built. He was, at the time very fit,
but very muscular.
Yeah. So he was very much into his training and stuff. But she was 5'4", barely, sort of thing.
She weighed like 55 kilos or something. Like she was tiny.
In comparison to him, she was tiny.
Yeah.
So very different builds in terms of for their drinking. Yeah. Of what their ability to be able to take this and hold their liquor, basically, I think would be very different. But it would have been very strong what he had made for sure. Yeah.
And she didn't know that. Like she's drinking this moonshine. God only knows what concentration it was, and he was pouring them too. Yeah. I mean, it's his house. I guess that kind of makes sense.
And I know they did have shots as well as mixers. Like so, there was a bit of both happening, and they can individually hit you at different ways.
Yeah. So after having quite a few drinks, they then had sex in his bedroom.
Yep.
According to him, it was consensual. But I mean, I guess we will never truly know because
from the recording, I would assume that was a consensual act. That one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Oh, I would go with that.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that she was still around and having the banter, I suppose, that makes sense.
Well, so at 1 a.m., they continue drinking and he turns on his phone to record. Mm-hmm. Now, from that recording, the beginning of it, I would say, they're very much in it. It was fun. They were having fun. It was playful. Yeah. It was.
But you could tell she was incredibly inebriated.
Yeah, and just getting more and more so throughout it.
You can hear him pouring her drinks.
Yeah.
He does make comments about, oh, my God, you're so drunk. Do you want something to eat? But then you can also hear a pouring of a drink in the background. Down. So I'm like, okay, what is it?
Yeah, but this recording, so this is a 3 hour and 19-minute recording, and you can find it on YouTube and listen to the entire thing. Very fascinating. Have you listened to the entire thing through?
I have, only because we've had this extra week. If we had have recorded this last week, I hadn't listened to the whole thing.
Right, well, I've listened through it.
Snippets.
I've listened to the whole thing right through.
Yep.
Twice.
Yep.
Wow. And I've listened to some snippets back again quite a number of times.
Okay.
Particular spot where we'll get to.
Yeah.
Now he did this regularly.
Yes.
He would turn his phone on to record. This was something he did apparently because he knew he drank so much, he would forget parts of the evening. And so he would document his escapades. On this forum as well as in a diary entry style of like who he slept with, what
I think he had an Excel
like.
spreadsheet.
Yeah. And so he would then use these recordings to go back and remember what happened. And I find this really intriguing of that. I mean, it's an OCD potential thing. I don't know, but it's a little bit voyeuristic. It's a bit stalkerish. It's a bit odd. But yes, and he leaves this recording on from 1 a.m. right through, as I say, 3 hours and 19 minutes long recording.
A lot of the recording is there's no one talking.
This is it.
Like it's just blank space, which, okay, that's fine. But what, oh my God.
But it's really worth noting though, really important, I think, and I don't think that this was emphasised enough in the trial, that he was the only one who knew the recording was on.
Yes, I think
Warriena had no idea she was being recorded, whereas he was fully conscious that he was being recorded.
I think it's also worth noting that, that in the recordings, you can tell she is wasted, but he seems very coherent and very together and
very controlled.
Very in control.
Yeah. There is definitely, look, I'm not, as I say, I'm not saying that he wasn't drunk or that I don't think they were going one for one.
No.
You know,
no.
And when you listen to the recordings too, with the way in that space of, because I say, so at about the 2 a.m. mark, and we're saying it starts at 1.
Yeah.
At about the 2 a.m. mark is where this horrendous thing occurs.
Yeah.
So it's only an hour of recording of her.
Yeah.
And in that time, you hear her decline in terms of her inebriation.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, I question, and I could not find a pathology report, toxicology report to find out. I do question, did he put something else also in her drinks?
But I also think if he's feeding this 5'4", 55 kilo
it
woman
could just be the
moonshine that we don't even know how potent that was.
Yeah.
It could have just been that all catching up with her
Yeah.
because in that hour that you're talking about, you can hear drinking throughout that whole time. So, you know, you might have 1 or 2 drinks in an hour and feel like a bit lightheaded.
Woohoo.
But if you've been drinking all night and then on top of that you're having concentrated alcohol, I reckon it might even just be that. I feel like if there was more to it, I'm sure a toxicology report was done.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if there was more to it, we would know about it. It would have come out in the trial. It would have come out in the trial,
there was a lot not
surely.
come out in the trial that should have.
True. That's true.
So, yeah, I would believe both. I could definitely very much be led to say, yeah, absolutely, she just drank a lot more than he did.
Yeah.
And that he has more tolerance than she does.
I would say that's true too.
So we could get to it for that point. But there's a little question mark over it for me that could there have been something else in her system as well?
Yeah. I think that's completely fair. Her blood alcohol concentration at autopsy.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually really friggin' horrible and just maybe skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But due to the way she died, there was not enough blood left within her body to do a blood alcohol reading. So they actually had to take vitreous humour from her eye. They took samples of her liver in order to determine the fact that her blood alcohol level was somewhere around the 0.156 mark. So 3 times over the legal limit. So she was inebriated. You've also got to understand that this happened like quite a while later. And although when you die, your body stops processing alcohol, like it would have been somewhere around that level anyway.
Yeah.
So she was drunk.
Yeah, very much so. All right. So the recording you can listen to is very interesting, and you hear like them just, as we said, bantering, bit of playfulness, and they start sort of fighting, but play fighting. And I don't know, I just kind of listening to it, you just really do the whole it's 2 youngish people having a bit of a play, and I don't know.
It gets a bit aggressive.
It builds though.
But this is at 1:35. Warriena says to him, so she accuses him of taking her phone.
Well, accuses him. It was in his pocket.
Yeah, it was.
He did
and it was still in his pocket after the fact as well.
Yeah.
But she says to him, she says to him, "Are you going to Mai Tai me? Because I will fucking destroy your jaw." And then, all of a sudden, it kind of all calms down again. It kind of goes up and down in waves.
And that's the thing. You're only getting recording. You're not getting any video. There's no context of what is happening visually in that room. You're only going by audio of what is happening and then his word.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, she does get quite aggressive. But she's lost her phone and her wallet. Now, that would be quite scary.
Terrifying.
As a female in a male's apartment, you can't find your wallet and your phone, and because there was a couple of occasions where she had mentioned going home.
Yeah.
And he would I feel, manipulate the conversation of be like, oh, yeah, I can walk you home if you want, but how about have another drink? Like it was, it was
like
redirect.
The music, or like he'd changed the subject.
Yes.
And she was so drunk she kind of just went with it.
So it sounds like he's doing the right thing of offering to walk her home, but then also
he
not.
also knows it's being recorded.
Yeah. Yeah. So it does, obviously escalate at this point because, and the thing is, he did take her phone and wallet. Yeah. He did hide it from her.
Yeah.
So what the fuck was with that?
Exactly.
What was
that's
his
not even
goal
talked about in the trial at all.
So he's got her phone and her wallet and she's hunting everywhere trying to find it and getting angrier and angrier of like, where is it? You've stolen my money, yelling at him. And he's calm as fuck.
Which is creepy.
Doing the whole like, well, what are you going to do? Like, oh, well, if you're going to call the cops, how are you going to do it? I thought you lost your phone.
And then he says to her, do you want me to call your phone? What's your number?
Which
he has her number. They'd been texting, not communicating through Tinder. They'd been texting each other.
Yeah.
So he had her number.
Yeah.
He's really fucking with her,
yeah,
actually.
This is the thing. And I find that really, these are the moments where I go, this isn't ASD, this is narcissistic.
Yeah.
This is manipulating her to feeling like, look, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm trying to help you here.
He's gaslighting her.
Fully gaslighting her. When her phone is fucking in his pocket and he knows exactly where it is. Yeah. But on the recording, we don't know that. You know what I mean?
Not yet. No, we don't.
He's way too aware of himself and the situation to be, one, as drunk as her, but also not controlling of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
I just find that really...
I agree.
Oh.
At 10 past 2 a.m, there's a struggle. Now, this is really difficult to hear when you listen to the audio, if that's something you guys choose to do.
Yeah.
It is so incredibly full on. It sounds as though she's actually being suffocated by something.
Yeah.
And her voice is muffled. She tries to say a couple of things. Her voice is really muffled.
Yeah.
And then you can quite clearly hear after that her say, "That hurt my vagina." Mm-hmm. What the fuck was he doing to her?
Yep.
What was he doing to her in that few minutes? Mm-hmm. Honestly, the fuck?
I think that's the key to it all, to be honest.
I fully agree. I fully agree.
I think that's been overlooked at the trial, 100%.
Yep.
There's more to that moment than has been given credit to in the trial.
Yep.
Yes.
So he sort of laughs that off.
He doesn't, I don't know. He
kind of like, no, he does. He goes,
yeah. I don't know, he's just awful.
Then she starts playing with these, like on his coffee table.
Well, again, this is his word.
This is his word.
He says that she picked up these rocks off of like obviously, one of those, I don't know, Zen, ornamental things,
sort of things.
And she was piffing them at him. But
he could easily make that up because she's incoherent at this point. Yeah. And he just goes, ow.
Yeah.
Ow,
what are you fucking doing that for? Why are you hurting me? And then he starts ranting. At one stage, he uses the words, and I don't know if you've got the exact quote there, of the, you're lucky I haven't dragged you out in the balcony and thrown you off my balcony.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking awful.
Fucked. I'll get that direct quote in a second.
Yeah.
But then she calls him Sam Winchester then, which kind of brings him back. It does. It kind of like flips him back into like a more sympathetic tone. Like the way he switches is another thing that really gets me.
Yes.
And he says to her, "Sexually, I'll be your slave." Then in another second, he goes to her, "You've worn out your welcome. You are not my kind of girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to leave." And she says, "Okay." But she's gasping for breath at this point. So she goes, "Okay." Like it's a real like...
Yeah,
there's desperation or something's
happening in that room that we're unaware of, but he's fully aware of. Like she seems very, at this point, she is petrified in my mind. You can hear it in her voice, and I can sense this thing of like, I need to work out how I'm getting out of here.
So the prosecution allege at this point that her face is down on the carpet, and that's the muffled, like he's holding her down face down into the rug or next to the coffee table.
Yeah.
And that's the muffled noise because that's what he's restraining her. And then he calls her fucking insane. "You're lucky I haven't chucked you off my balcony, you goddamn psycho little bitch." And then she says something that's unintelligible to the recording.
Because
and he
she
says...
can barely speak.
She can't speak. He goes, "What? what? You've got something to say?
Yeah, it's really derogatory the way he speaks to her at that point
Yeah.
too. Really demeaning. Like,
Yeah, and he's got her face in the fucking rug, so
Yeah.
she can't say anything. He's oh my God.
he's restraining her. And he admits that he is restraining her as if like she's some threat to him.
Yeah.
She's half his size.
Yeah.
So at this point he claims they were in the room and that the front door of his apartment was further away than the balcony door.
Mm-hmm.
So why that matters, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Because the front door is where you send someone who you want to leave your apartment.
That's absolutely right.
What? I don't know.
He says to her at this point, you're not going to collect any belongings or anything. You're just going to walk out and I'm going to slam the door on you. You understand? If you try to pull anything, I'll knock you the fuck out. So she does try to get out at that point.
Yeah.
There's a gurgling and rasping sound in the recording. And so we don't actually know what she was trying to say. She was trying to say something. The prosecutors alleged that Tostee was actually strangling her at this point, or he had her in some kind of hold. So her hyoid bone wasn't damaged and there were no signs of strangulation on autopsy. However, apparently there are certain holds that you can do that don't leave a mark, and that's what they believe he was doing at this point.
Yes.
And because he had some martial arts training, he had this, like a lot of, I mean, he was on all these forums and stuff. They alleged that he used this hold that wasn't going to leave any marks on her.
He claimed at this point that she was holding and threatening him with a telescope clamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You're still also way
Twice
bigger
as
than
big as
her
her.
and could overpower her, but whatever.
Yeah.
At 2:19
And why did she feel the need to have a weapon at that point?
Oh, well, exactly. I mean, I think to me, it's undeniable the fact that she was being restrained.
And
she
feeling
needed,
threatened.
And feeling threatened. She needed to
Yep.
have something to defend herself with.
Yep.
At 2:19, there are sounds that we think are the balcony door opening.
Yep. Oh, no, the balcony door was already open. So you don't hear it opening.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear it closing.
But in the preceding that, she screams the word no 31 times. Please, if you don't do anything else, just to hear the desperation in this poor girl's voice, listen to this bit. It's horrific.
It's horrific.
Because she's desperate. And it's almost animalistic the way she's screaming.
It's
no.
uncontrollable.
Yes.
She's like, she's
desperate.
And
absolutely just frightened, terrified.
And interestingly, a neighbour reports that a similar no was heard by her at least about a month prior to this.
Yeah.
Of the exact same, level of threat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the commotion and the noise, so now that what we think has happened, I guess, or what's been reported to have happened, is that Tostee removes her to the balcony and he locks her out there. He closes the balcony door and locks it.
You can hear the click.
Yes, you can.
And,
so I guess the recording proves that he was inside when she was out on the balcony. You can actually also hear, now this is absolutely horrific, but you can hear her scream as she falls off the balcony to her death.
Yeah. Which 25 seconds after that scream, you hear him ring his lawyer.
His lawyer, not Triple O.
Nope.
Not an ambulance, not the police, not desperate for help. He doesn't even go out and check.
Nope. You don't hear the door open again to the balcony. He doesn't go out there and look because, in his words, that would highlight where she came from and that it would look bad for him and that he might have pushed her.
Yep. He says if someone had have seen him on the balcony, they would have assumed he'd pushed her.
Yeah. And he had the forethought to think that in that moment of like a holy shit, she's gone over the edge. And then ring his lawyer, who didn't answer. And this is all on the recording as well.
Yep. He's still got the recording going for hours after this.
Yep.
Or a bit over an hour and a bit after this.
What he does next is incredibly interesting.
Very.
Now, none of this, from this point onwards, none of this was admissible in court. So none of this was heard in the trial. And I really think that this goes back to that, potentially, that comment around that hurts my vagina.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is where if the jury heard what happened here, the outcome could have been different.
I agree with you so hard. And the reason it wasn't allowed in is because the judge deemed it prejudicial. And because,
what? Because that would make him guilty?
Yeah.
Funny that.
All right, let's talk about it and tell everyone what actually happened after this.
So he rings his lawyer, who doesn't answer. He then, you can hear in the recording a little, well, I can't remember which comes first. I've got it all written.
You can hear him putting his pants on.
Yep.
So you can hear a belt buckle.
Doing those things.
Yep.
But you will also hear a spinning. And that spin, many people have played this recording, have done it themselves at home, have like played that sound to see if it matches. And it checks out in terms of who he was as a person too, that a dumbbell has like an end on it that holds the weight onto it. And it's that sound of one of those coming off and something being put down. Mm-hmm. He is then seen exiting his apartment with an item in his hand that looks like a dumbbell rod, like it's a long metal thing in his hand.
Yep.
He walks out of his apartment, goes down. He can hear the ding of the elevator arriving. He weirdly does something, and you can hear it all in the recording of like, we think he must leave his door open or wait or press the button of the elevator, which must have been right near his door.
I think it was, yes.
He's pressed the button of the elevator, and then instead of waiting in the hallway, he's waited inside his apartment for the elevator to arrive, because you hear the door close of his apartment after the ding of the elevator arriving. So he's left his door open. It did have some sort of auto close function on it too. So he's waited inside rather than waiting out in the hallway, which again sounds really sus.
Totally.
And then so he gets into the elevator, and then you can see him on the CCTV as he's come down through the elevator, again, carrying that item. He then wanders around the streets. He calls his dad. I believe it's before he calls his dad. You hear him dispose of whatever that was in his hand.
Yep.
And you hear the clunk of it. Like where he put it, nobody knows.
No one knows.
We don't know. He's not on CCTV at the point of like that of the recording. But he disposes of this metal thing. You can hear it clear
drop.
as day drop. Whether it was in a bin or something, I don't know. But he's definitely disposed of it at that point, because he didn't have it on him later, as far as we're aware. Mm-hmm. He calls his dad.
Well, first of all, he gets a slice of supreme pizza.
No, that's after, wasn't it? Oh, no, he got the pizza first. He does.
He goes to some pizza shop that's open on Cavill Avenue, gets a slice of supreme pizza.
Sits down and calls his dad.
Yep.
I think I could be in trouble here, Dad. And at this point, swarming around the bottom of the apartment block are police officers, ambulances, gathering people. Because so just to go back a little bit, I mean that's totally all relevant, but there were 3 eyewitnesses to Warriena's death. Yeah.
So the first was Nick Casey. So he was 2 floors below Tostee's apartment and visiting his friend Emily. They were both hairdressers. And the other person was directly below Tostee's apartment. Her name was Gabrielle Collier-Widener. And she's the one who heard someone a few months earlier saying no, 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 no as well out on the balcony in the same panicked sort of tone. Mm-hmm. They hear all of this banging and yelling, and that causes them to come out onto their balcony to find out what is actually going on. And when they look up, they see Wright standing on a concrete ledge on the wrong side of the balcony's glass balustrade. Yep. And Nick says that he remembers Wright saying she just wanted to go home, and he said, "You've got to get over the other side. You can't get out this way."
Yeah.
But she kind of like turns to twist around to then face the balustrade. So she was facing out at that point. She goes to twist around to...
Because in her sober world, she was quite athletic, have ability to climb things and stuff like that. But I mean, in a drunken... But there was no way, they knew that there was no way she could get where she was trying to get to by coming over that way.
That's right.
But in sheer panic desperation, she wanted to get out of there. ASAP.
however she could, I think.
Yes.
But in the turning around of that, she's then let go of the balustrade and they actually see her fall to her death. So Nick actually was interviewed by a New Zealand newspaper a few years later, and he said, I think he's studying this might have been Gabrielle actually. She said that she could have reached out and touched her. That's how close it was.
Yep.
But she still can see the wide-eyed panic and desperation in her face as she felt. You would never forget that.
No way. That's with you for life.
It's, oh my God, it is absolutely with you for life. So they're the ones who call 000.
Yes.
And both of them do.
Yeah.
And obviously that prompts ambulance, police, fireys to come, and they are, as Gable says to his dad, swarming the building because a woman has fallen to her death.
Well,
what did he expect?
Yeah, the coroner's report stated that her body had it had folded itself in half.
She'd lost all of her blood volume on impact. So you can imagine the scene. It would have been horrific. Absolutely horrific.
The only thing of that is that I bloody hope then she just didn't feel any of it.
Oh, it would have been instant.
Yeah.
It would have been
That is
instant.
the only redeeming, if anything, of that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. A terrible, terrible way to go.
Horrific.
But yes, so we're back to Gable Tostee sitting there having his pizza, recording himself, call his dad, and that conversation on the phone gets me with his dad on both sides.
Oh, gross.
So his comment to his dad is, I think I might be in a bit of trouble here. And he starts explaining to his dad the night that he had this girl over. We were just play fighting and she's gone off the balcony. Now, Dad's reaction on the phone is basically, have you called Mr. Potts, the lawyer? Oh, yeah, he's not answering.
Not
Is
she
okay?
Dead? Is she
okay?
Have you called 000?
He immediately defends himself of oh, no, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't push her or anything. It's it just blows my mind, the conversation between the two of them.
I know, because I'm in...
And how about, have you called 000, mate?
Yeah.
Why are you calling me?
I'll be there in a sec.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're not there? Fucking get back there.
Where are you? Kind of stuff. He's it's just I get it. It's 2 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. in the morning, kind of stuff. He's getting a phone call. He'd be a bit, what, huh? But I think that it'd sober you and wake you up pretty bloody quickly once you hear that a girl has gone over the balcony from his apartment, and you'd be like, whoa, mate, where are you? What's going on? It wasn't that kind of panic state. It was okay, well, I'll come and get you.
Yeah.
And, but hang on, what? I'll come and get you and bring you home?
Yeah.
Not
take you to the scene.
What you should be, I would have been go over to the police, talk to them, tell them
she was in my, exactly. If you are actually innocent and you think you've got nothing to do with this, why the fuck, A, did you not call 000 straight away? And B, why have you fled the scene? Why have you disposed of something?
Yep.
Why all of it?
Why all of it?
All of his action. Why have you gone and eaten a fucking slice of pizza, you
he's
fucking
hungry.
douche?
He was hungry.
Oh, I just can't.
Piece of shit.
Obviously, because, as you said before, he had her purse and her mobile phone in his pocket. So the police were actually unable to identify her
This is what actually
immediately.
pissed me off the most, in that moment of you're not even going over there and identifying who this person is and saying, I know who she is. She's fallen from my apartment.
Yes.
That shows more innocence than walking away going, I don't want to be involved because they might think I did this.
For sure.
100%. Oh, I just can't. So anyway, his dad picks him up, takes him home, and it's not until the next day that he goes and turns himself in to the police, to which his lawyer, at that point, get a lawyer, whatever, as you should, we always say, lawyer up.
Yeah.
But so his lawyer directs him to make no comment. So he literally, from that point to trial, makes no comment to the police. So they put their case together entirely without any statement from him.
Yeah.
Again, if you were innocent, wouldn't you tell them what happened that night? Mm-hmm. They do produce very quickly the recording. His defence fully believe from the get-go that recording will prove his innocence because the door lock is heard prior to her falling. However, that is not how the law works. So the police were able to charge him with murder, potentially manslaughter. So the trial was based around the fact of, was it murder or manslaughter or neither?
Yep.
Because did his actions create an environment where she plummeted to her death due to his intimidation and his behaviour? Yes.
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 Yes, 100%.
No,
I think to me, the recording shows that he's culpable.
I really do. I don't know how.
I don't know how you would think otherwise. Although I understand, yes, he did not push her. There are theories that people have put out, like I'm talking Reddit threads and that kind of thing, but people are like, well, maybe when he physically manhandled her out onto the balcony, did he place her on the other side of the balustrade? We don't know because nobody saw that.
No.
And
so then
people
in her
didn't see
attempt
her
to climb back over, did she fall?
That's right.
We don't know.
We don't actually know. We don't know that mechanism. What we know and what wasn't presented at trial is what he did after, which I think shows that he's guilty.
Yeah,
like
something
an innocent
happened.
person would have called 000, rushed down those 14 flights of stairs or whatever as quickly as they possibly could. They would have given the police every assistance, every piece of information from the night that they could.
Yeah.
I just...
So the wording in this is that, was he responsible for her death? And I fucking believe he was.
Yep.
He was the one who fed her all that alcohol.
Yep.
He was the one who put her on the balcony terrified.
Yep.
Equals.
And knowing she was... Obviously, she was very dazed and confused. I mean, if he had have just suffocated her / strangled her, she was possibly like oxygen deprived.
Yep.
We don't actually know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't believe that the way that this was presented in court was allowed, to be honest. I think the jury would have, I mean, the fact that they heard all of the recordings up until the point where the balcony door locked, basically, and I mean, you can actually then hear her scream as she falls as well if you listen carefully enough, which is absolutely horrific.
I did have to listen quite a few times to get that. I didn't hear it straight up.
Same. And he claims he didn't hear it.
Again.
But he would have looked out and seen that she wasn't there. Like, to me, that's not an excuse.
Yeah, he claims he doesn't hear that. But hang on, why did you call the lawyer?
Exactly. 35 seconds. Or what was it?
25 seconds.
25 seconds later.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, fuck off.
Oh, God.
You heard it. You knew what had happened.
Yeah, this is it. He did. And I really then go back to, okay, right, he's left that apartment with this very unusual piece of weaponry, potentially, in his hand. What was that used for? And why is he having to dispose of it?
Exactly.
Now, in an autopsy of her, as we said, how horrendous her body had been impacted by this, and not saying that he would have known that that's what would happen at the end of it all,
Yep.
but what did he do with that implement? And there's a statement from her saying, that hurt my vagina. Did something happen with those two things to equate her feeling very much, because it gets escalated very quickly after that, of did he do something to her that made her go, I got to get out of here, this isn't okay, and that's where it's ramped up, and she did fear for her life then.
Yep. I think my personal theory is, and this is just what I think, but I think that is exactly what happened. He's used that weapon in the perpetration of some kind of sexual act, potentially, and he's needed to dispose of that because it would have contained her DNA and evidence.
Yep. And then that would have been able to show that there was a reason for her to be...
That's right, a reason for her to be scared
and want to get out of there.
The fact that he was able to think so clearly and concisely in that moment just makes me feel like a lot of this was either he's done it before and he's, and we've got eyewitnesses who say they've heard, or, auditory witnesses who've said that they've heard similar sounds coming from his apartment in the past. We know he has swindled at least what was it by this point, 128 or something, women into sleeping with him.
Yeah.
He is an absolute piece of shit.
So, because another bit of evidence that, no, I don't know if you call it evidence, but something else that was withheld from the jury and they didn't know about was that, so there was a long time between this occurring and the trial happening in 2016, right? So 2 years.
A long time.
Part of the reason of that was that he had, not too long after this occurrence with Warriena, he had been, oh no, it might have been before it actually. It was before. He had been leaving Splendour in the Grass.
Oh, yes.
And had a high-speed chase with the police across the New South Wales border. And after they finally did actually capture him by using spikes on the road to get him to slow down to get to him, he refused a breathalyzer and a blood sample. Mm-hmm. Eventually, they got a reading off of him of 0.2.
Yep.
So, I mean, he must have been absolutely off his nut, because that's much like later after the fact that they finally got that out of him, that he refused it for so long.
Yep.
So his reading was probably even higher when he was in that vehicle.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So from that incident, he then actually was given 6 months in jail.
Yep.
So that he did that sentence between the Warriena case and having his trial.
Yeah.
So that was not admissible in court. And I can understand a lawyer arguing
had
that.
nothing to do with it.
However, it does paint a picture of who this douchebag is.
Have you seen or heard the footage from that? From the
no.
arrest? So, of course, he was recording it because he recorded fucking everything.
Yep.
But in it, he says to the police officer, so, yeah, as you said, he's been pulled over. He was going 195 kilometres an hour. What a fucking tool.
Well, maybe if he'd killed himself.
Oh, if only. He said to the police officer, all this is being recorded. And the police officer goes, recorded, is it? God, you're a dickhead. And
nail on head.
He says to the police officer, well, what are you arresting me for? And the police officer goes, for being a dickhead.
If only that was a charge we could claim.
Well, for being a dickhead and driving at 200 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, and being 4 times the legal limit.
Yeah, maybe that. Just thinking.
Just maybe.
Thinking. Yeah.
Well, so anyway, obviously the jury did have an issue at trying to come to a conclusion on this. It took them, after a 6-day trial, it took them 4 days to come up with a verdict.
And they had so many questions.
Yeah.
They came back after 6 hours and they had like a whole list of questions. They then had to go and talk about that for longer. And
which I think led the defense, to believe that, oh God, he's going to get caught here, going to be done here.
Yeah.
So there was an incident where one of the jurors actually posted onto social media a picture of her coffee cup and like out the front of the, Supreme Court kind of stuff, saying, oh, another day on jury duty. I've got a tough one. Turned out, she's one of the jurors from, his trial.
I think she actually named him.
I think she did too.
Yeah.
So the defense then wanted to have a mistrial based on that, because the jury aren't allowed to talk about them being on the case. I think, to the judge's credit, I don't think that equaled a mistrial. And he did say, no, we're going with this. We're going to let them go, keep going, because she didn't say anything about the actual case in terms of like discussing it. Yeah. So, yes, it was not right, but it's toe over the line stuff, not as bad as it could have been, and it's escaped enough to warrant a mistrial. So they did push forward, but then unfortunately the jury then came back after 4 days with a not guilty verdict for both murder and manslaughter. I don't know how that came about. I do think they were obviously.
I think we need, as you said, to put this in context of what they heard, because they didn't hear the full story.
This is it.
And probably, to be honest with you, I've given this a lot of thought over the last week.
Yeah.
I do feel like given that if we only knew what they were told, I can kind of see that the bar was too high.
That scream, that no gets me every time I've listened to it.
So that's why I'm thinking, like, it surprises me that there wasn't a manslaughter charge. I can understand the murder charge because, yes, he didn't actually physically push her.
Yes.
But
I do think he's responsible. So I fully think he should have received at least a manslaughter charge. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, and we'll never know why the jury made the decision that they did, but they did.
Look, his family, again, very wealthy, had very good lawyers. no question.
Yeah.
Again, they're scum of the earth. But he had very good lawyers who did a very good job of painting a picture that he wasn't responsible for this.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, the judge didn't allow things into the trial that should have been.
Yeah.
And I understand, the fact that he ate pizza and wandered around for like nearly, for an hour and a half afterwards before. I think that element of after the fact not being included, I could have come at. But the fact that there was more evidence of him disposing of something was overlooked and should have been included.
Yeah. Even the fact that he didn't seek attention for her, seek medical help or anything. Like
the fact that he called his lawyer at first.
Yeah, exactly. 25 seconds later. Like, I think that shows such culpability.
If he'd rung his dad first and then a lawyer, I could have come at that easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to ring the lawyer first.
Yeah, all of it just does not sit right.
He literally had a lawyer on speed dial because he was always in trouble.
Yeah,
this was not the first time he was in trouble.
No.
This was not the first time that he'd been called out for being a dick with women.
Yeah.
There was a pattern here well and truly of behaviour that was red flag city.
100%.
And it doesn't just stop there because this man, obviously not being convicted of this, continues to walk the streets and behave atrociously.
So as you said, he did not give any statement to the police, right?
No.
So this put him in really great stead for 60 Minutes to offer him 250,000 Australian dollars for an exclusive interview, which of course he was like, fucking A. I don't know how. Anyway, that is what it is.
I don't know if that did him any justice though.
It didn't. I mean, they were
they
Liam
did their
Bartlett
job.
Was the interviewer,
and he's
good
at
journalist. He's awesome.
He's good at being a dick.
But he wasn't going to let him off.
No.
But it didn't paint him in a great light. But what difference did that make to him?
No.
Like, people already knew
and
kind
at that
of what
point,
had happened.
Double
and
jeopardy.
Point,
he could have literally sat there and went, "Yep, it was
did
my
it.
fault," and he wouldn't have got anything. So, he could speak freely at that point.
But
without
he
any
still
consequence.
excused all of his behaviour. He took zero responsibility. He could have taken responsibility and been like, yeah, look, I probably shouldn't have given her that much to drink, or maybe I should have walked her home when things started to escalate. There was nothing.
None of that.
Nothing.
No.
He made excuses for all of his behaviour. When he was asked about how many women he'd slept with, he's like, men of my age have slept with that many women. That's not abnormal, or that's not unusual.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fucking really unusual.
Yeah. And the way you talk about it is what's more unusual.
Yeah.
Like, there's one thing of like, if that's, I don't know, what you do, or,
Yeah.
But the other way, like, it's the way he spoke about women, generally speaking, was
so
what's
disrespectful.
really gross. I don't care what your number is.
No.
Like, that's such an irrelevant thing.
So true.
It's the fact of how you speak about those people that you've, had those sorts of relationships with.
Yeah.
Well, you call them relationships, relations. He had a very poor opinion of women in general, which to me equates to someone who is dangerous to women.
Absolutely.
He doesn't respect them to care for them enough to not have them be hurt or injured.
Yeah.
Because he continues to this day to get into trouble.
So he's now legally changed his name.
Yeah. So
Eric
Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah.
So in 20, I think, I can't remember what it was, 22, I think he came to Melbourne for something. For some reason he was in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. And there's a Facebook group that outed him on there, saying that if he's in Melbourne women, and he is Gable Tostee, he's known as Eric Thomas on Tinder and all these sorts of things. So don't date him, don't go out with him. This is who he is. He tried to sue them for it, but that didn't fly. Because he's well known in areas for doing awful things. So he's been banned. There's a number of brothels around the Gold Coast area who have banned him because he's beaten up women. Mm-hmm. Like that. Yes, he's paying them for sex. He's certainly not paying them to be able to beat them up.
Oh, for
fuck's
sake.
They have had to ban him from multiple brothels. He was, oh God, I've got to find the quote of this. This is just gross. He was actually pulled over again for speeding and driving under the influence, and found to be driving naked in 2019. And his statement from the police when they asked him, he crashed the car, and when they pulled him out of the car not wearing anything, he said, they asked him why he wasn't wearing any clothes, and he goes, "Oh, I was just in that state, you know." What?
Sorry, what state?
What state? Not usually do you get, like, what's the state that creates you to be naked in your car driving?
How gross. He's got butt juice all over his car seats too. Yuck.
So he was like only given 12 months probation for that and fined $350.
See, this is the thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like all of this other shit that he's done too, does that not count for anything?
No.
Like fucking put this joker in jail. He is going to kill someone else.
He will.
He will. He will. With his reckless behaviour, he could not give a fuck about anyone else or the consequences of his actions.
Nope. So the biggest one he's had any kind of consequences to, though, is the most recent, in that in 2022 he was at the Grand Hotel in Broadbeach, which is operated by the casino, right? So he was found in a hotel room on top of a woman who was laying on her back with her her skirt up around her hips, right? And he was hitting her. He was fighting her.
Who found her?
So security, they came to her rescue, right, and got him off her.
Like, did they hear her?
Yeah. So they dragged him off him and everything, right? He was choking her too, by the way. Yeah.
Ooh.
So they pulled him off and they banned him from the casino, right? And because they're a group, he was banned from all their venues, I believe. So
good fucking job.
Well, yeah, but then he, being a dick, requested for that ban to be removed because it was what did he say? Sorry, they were discriminating against him for being a man.
Oh, fuck off. Real men don't choke women.
No, well, so I love the fact that a judge in this, I don't think it's a judge, it's civil court sort of stuff. Like, I don't know who.
Like a magistrate or something.
Yeah. Who they basically turned to him and said, no, the ban is staying in place because your claim of gender bias is not here. This is called domestic violence. And they most certainly can ban you for domestic violence in their venues. There is no relevance whatsoever of your gender claims. So thankfully that one stood. But he'll
just find somewhere else to go.
This is it. He's an absolute pest and criminal.
Yeah.
He will kill someone else, I reckon. I just feel we will hear of him again.
Well, listen to this, right?
Yeah.
So there's an article in, I think it's like the New Zealand Advertiser or something, and Warriena's dad, it's the one and only time he's ever spoken about the case to this reporter. And he says in it, please charge him with the right thing. False imprisonment resulting in death.
Yes.
I don't know what the charge is in Australia, but that is 100% what he's guilty of.
Yes.
That and being an arrogant son of a bitch, but I guess there's no crime against that. But then at the end he says, I know we haven't seen the last of him. That is the nature of the beast. And he's right. We haven't seen the last of him.
No.
I think her dad is on the money.
Yeah. Because
we haven't seen the last of this.
sorry.
Absolute, like, he hasn't learned anything from this experience.
No, because he's not ASD. He's fucking narcissistic personality disorder.
Yep.
I honestly don't feel that the ASD covers who he is. Maybe there is ASD there as well.
Yep.
Not saying that that's not a possibility.
Yep.
Because he does have certain traits of, like, the artistic ability and the intelligence level, all those sorts of things. But there is a narcissistic streak in this person.
Both things can be true.
And both of those things can be true. Absolutely. But because he is an absolute sack of shit.
Oh,
and
my God.
He has injured women. He's made women feel incredibly uncomfortable prior to this as well at nightclubs, being banned for that. His alcoholism and drinking and driving is putting people in danger. There are so many elements of this man that he should be locked away. Or at very least, he should be in therapies well and truly getting support and help for whatever is going on for him.
From what I can gather, since 2009, he's had no psychological intervention.
Yeah.
Certainly there's nothing reported. Whether he is or isn't, I don't know for sure. But from what I can see, it's stopped at 2009. So that's 5 years before this incident took place.
Yeah.
And far too long ago for it to have any effect now, especially if he was medicated back then. I don't know. But I just think he is dangerous.
Yes.
I think women need to be aware that he's out there and he's on Tinder again. He should be fucking banned from all of this. Like, he shouldn't be allowed. There was a ban while he was awaiting trial that he wasn't allowed to be on Tinder or any
Well, he wasn't allowed on social media, but he was.
Social media, yeah. So he just doesn't give a shit.
Oh, that was the other thing that I found more recently.
Yeah.
So what he oh gosh, now where am I? So yeah, so he was banned from using Tinder, right, and being on social media, which he heavily was still going as onto his forums and claiming his innocence. And he used the name GT when he was on those forums when he wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it was clearly him. Like
GT.
Yeah,
you
GT.
think he could have come up with something a little more anonymous, but okay.
But even then, so this Eric Thomas, though, person who boasted about having sex with 260 women, just recently he was boasting these things again on none other than a page called Bloke's Advice. Now, if you've heard of this page before, there's some amazing people out there highlighting how toxic and disgusting this is. These guys have a podcast as well, and sometimes men shouldn't have microphones. They are atrocious, absolute toxic masculinity.
Yep.
So this Bloke's Advice page is supposedly, to help men's mental health. It does the complete opposite, because guess what they promote? Oh, blokes need to have a beer with each other to, cope with these things. Now, that will send me off the edge. Alcohol is part of the problem. So they're so not equipped to actually support people's mental health. And surprise, surprise, Eric Thomas or Gable Tostee, whatever you want to call him, is well and truly in on that page.
Oh, fucking.
So if that's where he's getting his mental health advice,
he fits the bill, doesn't he? Like, his opinion of women.
Oh, yeah.
His just the way, his mannerisms, the way he goes about things. It doesn't surprise me that he's on a page like that.
Not at all.
But, oh, God, we need to do better.
I don't know how we fix these things. I don't know. The legal system doesn't help us. No. Because it was certainly what I see in this is that it was coercive control in terms of how she was being manipulated in that room.
Agreed.
And so there are laws around that now. And no, in 2016 there weren't. And I wonder whether it would have been looked at differently today, even though it's not a huge amount of time.
But a lot has changed in that time.
Yeah, there has been things put in place. And I would hope that we would see this differently now.
Yeah.
I really hope we're learning slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so too. I would hope that there'd be a different lens cast upon it, knowing that as time goes on, we know more, and when you know more, you can do better.
Yeah.
But then I also understand that the law, while progress has been made, it still probably hasn't fully caught up to the point where, where, for example, this entire story could have been told to the jury, and what I think would be the right outcome could have come to the fore, but it just, I don't know. I think there's a lot of gaps, and there's a lot more room for us to be better and do better in this space. So, yep, absolute piece of shit, and I'm actually done talking about him now. I've had enough.
No, I know. I can't agree.
I think it's worth ending this episode with Warriena's family in mind, because they are now having to live the rest of their lives without their daughter and their sister. Oh. And I can't even imagine how hurtful that would be. And
especially not getting an outcome,
that's right.
Someone being held accountable. It just makes it even another layer of shit with this. It's awful.
Yep.
When he is responsible.
Yep. So
we're thinking of them.
Yep, we're thinking of them for sure.
Yeah, Warriena most well and truly did not deserve this to occur. She was an incredible young woman, and this was just absolutely an outcome of an evening out where she should have been. That start of that recording where there's a bit of fun and banter stuff, if the night had ended there, for everyone it would have been amazing.
Yep.
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 Yep. And
I think we're done. I think we're done. Yeah. We could go on and like the incredulity of it all could see us through. But anyway, have you looked up to see what we're doing next week? I actually haven't looked up.
I did play around with. It's Childers.
Oh, the backpacker fire.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually a really fascinating one.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I remember it obviously occurring, but I actually don't feel like I know a lot about it.
Yeah, so we're sort of back into outbackish Australia too.
Going back to the outback. Yeah. All right, backpackers.
Yeah. Okay, well, join us next week for that one. And please keep your case suggestions coming. We love it. We're constantly adding things in there. And as I said at the start of this episode, please have a look in the show notes below and check us out on Patreon if that's something you feel like you might like to do to support us. You can still buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/2crimebesties. Contact us on the socials, or if you'd like to send us an email, it is twocrimebesties@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Love any way you want to communicate with us. All great. We love it. Keep it coming. Stay curious, crime besties.
Bye.